Hello and welcome to Metal Vice, the podcast where we talk about all things music.
Well, the things we care about.
That's right, which is mainly metal music and live music. I'm your host, Brian, joined by the other host,
Karen.
And this is our first movie night episode.
Yes.
I've been wanting to do one of these for a very long time. We've tried a couple of times to record these.
Yeah.
With not so much success. The first one was The Dirt on Netflix.
Yeah.
The Motley Crue biodoc or whatnot.
And we recorded it while we watched it.
Yeah, so that was we started to edit it, or I started to edit it, and it was very long because we would watch the movie, pause, talk about the scene, continue, and then pause like 10 seconds later to have another little brief conversation. So it was like a 7-hour episode.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, we're not fucking doing this.
I remember sitting on the couch, like we even like sat on our couch and like it was a long night.
Yeah, so that one didn't work out, and then there was the hard, louder,
heavier,
a
heavy trip and heavier trip.
Yeah, which I want to rewatch those. I want to redo the Motley Crue one as well.
Yeah,
but we've got this new sort of structure on how we're going to do it. We're going to see how this is.
So if you're seeing this, it was okay.
Yes,
or we thought it was okay.
Enough to put up. You're right.
Yes.
We're not going to go scene by scene. We're just going to go over, the basics of what the movie is, and then go into our thoughts were in like our key scenes as well. So definite spoiler alerts and whatnot if you care about that. If you haven't seen the movie, either listen to this then go watch the movie, or watch the movie then come back to this if you want, or whatever. Don't do any of them. But definitely recommend watching the movie and checking this out at some point. So the movie,
it's a good movie.
Yeah, the movie we're gonna do is Metal Lords, again on Netflix.
Yes.
This came out, I believe, in 2022 by D.B. Willis and starring...
I think that's D.B. Wise.
D.B. Wise. Sorry. We're going to fuck up all these names, and I'm sorry.
Should I read the names?
Sure, go ahead and read the names.
I don't know if I'll do any better, but Jaden Martell as Kevin, Isis Hainsworth, who is Emily, and Adrian Greensmith, who is Hunter.
Those are your three main characters.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot more characters, but those are the three that we're going to talk about and we're going to focus on a lot here. So the movie is a coming-of-age story with two friends, Hunter and Kevin, who are in high school, and it's a coming-of-age story, so they're in high school. They're forming a metal band, and then they find out that the school's going to have a battle of the bands, so they're putting the band back together and building a band with the two of them and others to go to the battle of bands and win the battle of the bands, or at least that's the goal. So it starts out in Hunter's basement, where he's got a drum kit, he's got all his different guitars, metal posters all over the fucking wall, pinball machines, really cool looking room. Like, fuck, as an adult metal fan, I want this fucking room, honestly. So much cool shit all over the place. And it's going through just showing you all the posters, Judas Priest, Metallica, Slayer, Ozzy, Sabbath, like it's just going all over the place.
I mean, there's other, like Mastodon, Lamb of God,
Amon Amarth, Slipknot, like there's so many band references in here. Anthrax, like
I feel like, we'll talk about like the movie, but I feel like a lot of times movies focus on like Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax, like those bands, and they don't really bring in like the, other bands like Mastodon. They even had August Burns Red, I saw.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, like every time we watch that scene, I like try to pick out like different bands. So.
Yeah, and I wonder with the music if that's partly because of Tom Morello being like the executive music producer or something. I did see that in the credits, that when we watched through it. Because if you stay through the credits, I believe it's playing their song, Heavy Machine, Machinery of Torment. Machinery of Torment was the song that was being played during the credits, which is a really cool song. I like that song a lot.
I like the song. I sing it now when we watch it because we watched it quite a few times. So.
Which, that's the song they ended up writing for the Battle of the Bands. But yeah, that is true. There's as a metal fan, there's so many bands going through there that like just it's fun to sit there and watch those scenes. Like, oh, I see that band. Oh, I know that band. I know that band.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just like that they bring in a lot more bands than what a lot of. Like when you're putting together something that includes metal music, it's generally just the top bands that are, featured and not like the other bands. So,
for sure, that is really cool. But then Kevin's playing the drums and he kind of sucks. So Kevin's like, all right, well, we need to get a bassist. That will really make us better. So that's
Hunter says that.
Sorry, Hunter says that. Yeah. I just thought that was funny that Hunter's like, well, you kind of suck, but you're my friend. I'm not going to tell you suck. Let's get a bassist. That will solve all our problems. And that sort of like kicks off this journey of let's find new people to join our band, basically.
Yeah.
Then they end up going to a house party held by this like preppy kid and whatnot who's got his own band up on stage playing his own house party. Parents very wealthy. This whole movie feels like in a very affluent neighborhood or in a community outside of, there are some individuals like Kevin who's not. He's living in an apartment complex with his mom and father and brother. But for the most part, there seems to be a lot of affluence, right?
Yeah, like, even Hunter's dad's like a plastic surgeon. So.
Yeah, the school is known as a campus, not a school, which the principal is a dean. So I don't know. It's maybe they're just terms that I'm not used to, and there's some schools that go by this structure and whatnot. But even all the kids driving cars are very wealthy looking cars, like a good big giant ass F-150 type thing, which I guess kids growing up in my high school had those kind of cars too.
Yeah,
some did.
Some did, yeah.
But I don't know, whatever. Don't know where it's going. Oh, the house party, right. So Kevin and Hunter go to this house party, and Kevin starts drinking alcohol. He's like, oh my God, alcohol's awesome. Metal, yeah.
Fucking metal.
And Hunter's just sitting there like, oh, God damn it. Why are you fucking drinking? Alcohol's the worst.
Well, he didn't even want to go there, but the jock that like holds the house party is like, everybody in the school's invited. Like my parents are in Geneva or something.
The preppy kid.
Oh, it wasn't the jock?
It wasn't the jock. The preppy kid was like, my parents are away, who tells the jock.
Oh, okay.
And then that same jock gets in a fight with Kevin, who ends up pushing him over, breaking the keyboard, and that starts a fight. And Kevin's like, this music sucks. You guys suck playing. Which, when they first got there, they're standing there watching it, Kevin and Hunter, and Kevin's like, how do they do it? How are they doing what they're doing up there? And Hunter's like, are you shitting me? This is so fucking simple. There's 4 chords, like just repeated. And Hunter's like, no, like not the music part. The courage is like be on stage and do that.
Oh, see, I took that scene as not necessarily saying like them having like the band having courage of being on stage and stuff, but just like the house party in general of like people going and like mingling and dancing and talking to each other and all that stuff.
Maybe some of that, but I definitely took it as like the band of like, I would be scared shitless to go up on stage. And
no, I took it as how do you just like show up and like start dancing.
Interesting.
Like
I can see what you're coming from now, but no, that's not how I took it. I definitely took it as no, it's simple music. He's like, no, not the music part, but how do you like get up there and perform like that?
But I agree with Hunter on a lot of bands, and especially a lot of bands that so like I'm thinking back to I can't remember what concert we went to, but like it was at the casino, and after the concert got over there was casino music going on, and it was like this just people playing like cover songs.
Yeah.
And in my mind I'm like, how do they know all these songs? And then I realized they're not playing the music to the song, they're just playing the same chords over and over and over, which then the vocals go to, and then your mind just makes you think that's the song that they're playing.
I go to piano bars a lot. I like piano bars a lot. And I watched a video of a guy talking about, I was a piano musician at a piano bar. Mm-hmm. Here are the things I've learned, the things I like and don't like about the industry. So I watched that, and he said the same thing. He's like, just learn these 4 notes and how to play them together. And then you sing the songs, and the thing is getting the rhythm down and getting like how the song goes up and down wise.
Yeah, you do have to know that part of it, but otherwise you're not playing like the notes of the song.
Right, you're not playing it perfectly.
Yeah.
But
you're playing the sound.
Yes, you and the crowd and the singing, and that aspect of it that like ties it all in together and confuses your brain or convinces your brain that no, this is the song they're playing. Yeah. Which is a really kind of cool, interesting concept. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Which I think that's mainly what Hunter was going for with the house party band, which turns out to be the rival band that they're trying to beat at the Battle of the Bands as well, because they're just doing cover songs, and even at the Battle of the Bands they do that Imagine Dragons song. I don't know what one, but one of the Imagine Dragons songs. But the fight and knocking it over and like starting a whole commotion and everything, and Hunter being like, fuck you guys, you fucking suck, this is stupid, this is lame, your music sucks, we play real metal, like real music, we play fucking metal, it's from the heart. And the guy's like, cool, well, I guess we'll see you at the Battle of the Bands. And Hunter's like, there hasn't been one of those since the fucking 80s. There's no Battle of the Bands. Like, yeah, it's coming back this year. Like, we didn't know about this.
go talk to Dean Thomas, I think was her name or something.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
And it's like, well, I will. The very next day, burst into her office. I demand you let our band play. Why didn't you let us know? And she's like, well, one, I didn't know you had a band. And two, it's all over the school. So you can sign up. There's no reason you can't sign up. And later in the music, Hunter and Kevin are getting in a fight, or they're in a hall talking or something. And I noticed in the background, there's this giant poster for Battle of the Bands.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So it's kind of one of those things like, it's been plastered all over. It's not my fault you don't pay attention to what's going on, which kids in high school and me as an adult, I don't pay attention to everything all the time. So I do miss shit like that. Even if you tell me 14 different times, like, this event is happening on this day, I'll fucking forget about it unless I jot it down or something, right? So I just thought that was kind of funny of like, you can join. There's posters all over the fucking school. You should have just signed up, and you can still sign up for it.
Yeah. As long as it's appropriate.
As long as it's appropriate, which comes in later.
Because
their band...
Oh,
no, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, because he even says, like, in the office, it's like post-death doom metal or whatever.
Yeah, he tells her that, and she's like, I didn't know you had a
death metal.
Doom, death, and then, like, kids who were in there making fun of him, sort of like post-death. And she's like, oh, my apologies, yes, post-death.
Yeah.
But yeah, as long as it's appropriate, because their name is also Skullfucker is the name of their band. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was kind of cool. And then, well, I don't know what happened next, but again, we're not going to go scene by scene. I guess
you're kind of going scene by scene.
The next thing I remember is Hunter stealing his dad's platinum card.
Yeah, like an Amex card or Discovery card or something.
And then they go and buy a drum kit for Kevin. Yeah. And they're fucking massive. He gets like the biggest fucking drum kit he can.
Double bass and like all the tom drums and everything. I mean, it's like what you see like Lamb of God play, or like you know, like
Art has his set.
Yeah, like because normally you have your bass drum and then you have your couple drums and your cymbals and stuff for like starting bands, but no, he had like the whole thing.
And I think it was like that same day or the day before, whenever in the movie before that, Hunter's talking to Kevin. He's like, "Did you talk to your mom about getting a double bass?" And he's like, "No, she says we don't have the money to buy.
We don't have $1,000.
Yeah, to buy it." He's like, "Well, you don't really need that. You can use a double bass pedal." He's like, "Yeah, she said we don't have $150 to buy that either," which made me kind of smile because I remember in high school there was a kid who was into music, had all the instruments. He wrote his own album and like had a CD that I got from him, and he ended up upgrading from a double bass pedal to a double bass, and he was selling that. And I think he sold to me for roughly $150, which I gave to our friend Kyle, or I maybe sold to him. I can't remember, but that sort of worked its way over to Kyle because he was wanting a double bass pedal as well for on the cheap or secondhand or whatnot. So I don't know, that made me smile knowing that little scene. But then they get the drums, he sets it up in his room, he's playing it, and the neighbor's like, "Shut the fuck up." And his mom's like, "Yeah, don't do that."
Well, and the drum kit takes up his entire room besides his
bed. Yeah.
Like, and obviously it's part of the shot that is done to make it, like to show the grandeur of it, but it's huge.
So then he's like, "I need to borrow the car," because he takes it to school. And as he's loading it up, because the condition was you can borrow the car as long as you take your brother to, I guess, swimming or something. And his brother's like, "What is all this?" He's like, "These are my drums." And the kid's like, "Drums are stupid." And Hunter just sighs. He's like, "Yeah,
it's
they
Kevin.
are."
Yeah, it's Kevin.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I get these names mixed up.
It's okay.
Kevin. He's just sighs. And he's like, "Yeah, they do." And I just thought it was funny because it's like, the reason they suck is it takes fucking forever to put this kit together, move them around, so many pieces. It can be annoying as fuck.
Well, also, the scene, obviously it's a movie, and they don't show him putting everything in the car, but it's a hatchback fucking car, and you're trying to put a double bass, like with two tom drums and, I don't know, multiple snares and multiple cymbals and everything into this car. Not going to happen, first of all. But then the next, very, very nice, it like just cuts to him supposedly unloading it all at the school to go put it into a practice room.
Yeah, and when he's sitting there practicing, it's like a little montage of War Pigs, I believe is the song that's playing. And Hunter had given Kevin a list of, these are the songs you need to learn. This is your Bible. These are your songs. Learn them, love them, know them, do lines of them in the bathroom, which made me smile because like lines of coke, but no, like do practice the lines of the drums and whatnot. But yeah, then I'm getting these names always mixed up. Then Kevin takes the list, rewrites it, and gives it to this woman playing the cello, Emily, which we had met earlier in the movie. We didn't talk about that. So at the very, very beginning, Hunter is like, I thought you knew how to play the drums or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And Kevin, the inner monologue that is played all over the movie as like for the narration is like, no, I play the drum in marching band. And he's sitting there with one drum playing it. And that's when we meet Emily for the first time, who's playing the flute. Is that what it is?
Clarinet.
Clarinet. And she fucking sucks at the clarinet. And she's only doing this to get out of PE. Like, that's the only reason she's in marching band. And the teacher's like, hey, so this is an orchestra, even though we're out here marching on the field, you need to play the song that we're supposed to be playing. You can't just play random ass notes. And she's like, fuck you, and throws the clarinet and like, cunt. And the professor or the teacher's like, you can't say that in America because she's Scottish. So
is she Scottish?
I think that's what they said. Maybe Wales. I can't remember.
Yeah. She's from across the pond.
Across the pond, yes. I think they had a Welsh flag, the white one with the X, the white X. Is that Scottish? I don't know. We're bad with flags and geography in general, so she's from somewhere in that region. But I thought that was funny. Just like, that's when you first meet Emily, and then she's sitting there playing the cello, which she's really fucking good at playing the cello. And that's when Kevin finds her and sees her through the door and hears her music and everything. He's like, holy shit, that's awesome. Slips the note with all the songs on it. She goes home at the same time. Kevin's in there, like, learning how to play the drums, learning how to play War Pigs. And she's sitting there watching music videos of all these songs, which is kind of cool because she's going through it, and it starts with War Pigs. And she's like, ooh, I like this. This is nice. And then I think it's like Slipknot. And she's like, ugh. She's like, slams the computer shut or something. I thought that was really funny as well. But like, Kevin, by the end of this montage, Kevin's just fucking killing the fucking drums, which is, again, it's a movie.
It is a movie.
I don't know what the pacing of this in terms of timeline.
That's true. It almost seems like it's all within like a couple days, but I'm sure it's a lot more.
There is one point where like the Battle of the Bands is in 2 days. We need to do X, Y, Z. But I don't know when they learned about the Battle of the Bands to when the Battle of the Bands was, but his skills apparently jumped dramatically by the time this montage gets over, which was really kind of cool to see. So
there is a line in the movie that you haven't said it, maybe you didn't pick up on it, but at the very first scene, Hunter tells Kevin to play
something
heavy. And so Kevin's like Rock of Ages.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, play something heavy. And then the same exact thing happens when Kevin asks Emily if she can play metal. And she's like Rock of Ages. And it's just kind of funny that I mean, obviously it's a movie, but it comes back.
There's a couple times like that, because there's another time where, so they're trying to find a basis, and every time they try to find a basis, it's just a bust. They're playing D&D as a way to like make friends who knew how, like the other kids playing with them know how to play bass. And it's an idea of like, oh, if we become friends with them, do hobbies with them, they'll like us and they'll want to join our band. Therefore, it'll be good. The chemistry will be good. And Hunter's just a complete fucking dipshit asshole to everyone. And the other kids are like, fuck you, we're done, we're out of here, fuck this shit. And then they have a tryout, which the guy seemed like he could play bass, but then his stage act is kicking shit over, and then it turns out actually he can't really play the bass that well.
No, he can't.
So he's out.
They try to play like bells, or from whom the bell tolls by Metallica, and it like starts off and it kind of seems like they
really
could
good,
do it or whatever, like and then it's just like the guy playing bass just like kind of goes into it like just playing whatever the fuck he wants and kicking shit over and stuff.
Kevin's like, first attempt's like, all right, hold on, stop. Let's just play the song, then we'll see how we vibe as a band, and then we'll work on our stage act. Like, it's like, we gotta do X, Y, Z. First and foremost, most important thing is play the fucking song, then we can work on the stage shit. And the second attempt, then he's just like going all over the place, kicking shit over, kicking the amps and everything. And they're like, all right, this has been fun. We'll let you know what's next. So then they're leaving, and like, well, Kevin's like, we need to find a bassist, right? I know the perfect person. She plays cello. It's not the bass, but we can try it. And Hunter's like, no, we're not doing that. We can just be a 2-piece band. It's fine. There's other bands out there that can do that. And Kevin's like, oh, like the White Stripes. And he's like, no, not like the White Stripes. And that same thing comes in later as well, where he's like, oh, you guys are just a duo like the White Stripes. And then at that point, Hunter has changed, and he's like, yeah, like the White Stripes. But that scene also led to when Hunter said, here, we can be a 2-piece band. Here's this band out of like Finland or something, a death metal band or something, Black Death or whatnot. and he lets Hunter. I get these names. He lets Kevin listen to it, and it's just Kevin does not like the music.
Yeah, it's like pig slaughtering.
Yeah, and like that's a really great example. I put that in my notes when we were taking notes. It's like not all metal is for everyone.
Right.
So like it's cool to be into metal, but you don't have to like every subgenre, every band within metal, right? Because it's so wide.
And I think that's where the whole like Rock of Ages come from. Is I think a lot of people who don't listen or don't dive into metal. I mean, we haven't even dove into like some genres of metal. That was on your bingo card to look at every genre of metal.
It is, yeah.
I don't know how it's going this year, but.
It started strong and not so well right now, but we'll see. The year's still young.
But to have the comment of like Rock of Ages, it almost seems like anybody that watched Rock of Ages would think that that's like heavy metal music, and it's like, no, not really. But there's different genres of it.
Yeah, and then Kevin's like, you know what, fuck it. Like I'm gonna introduce Hunter to Emily, and like they're in the same class, like speech or something, English or whatnot.
Yeah.
And say like she can play the band. She already knows all these songs. Like I gave her the list, and she fucking learned how to play this shit already. Like I'm still struggling through like 2 or 3 songs, because even during the bass tryout, he's like, "What songs do you know?" It's like, "Well, I've done X, Y, Z. I'm halfway through here, but I'm struggling on this." So it's like only halfway through the list or something, right? Emily's already like crushed everything apparently. So they go to Hunter's basement, Emily and Kevin, and Hunter's just like, no, like we're not having a female celloist in a band. That is not metal. And he's like, that's gay. And she's like, oh, and she's looking around the room. There's Rob Halford, who is gay, in like leather spandex. And then there's like, I think Van Halen, with like just these very short shorts, very tight, with this bulge just popping out. There's Goblin Cock with a giant cock with a ring coming out of it, the piercing and whatnot, and a few other ones. And she's like looking around like, oh, this is gay, but looking around the room at all these other pictures. And Hunter's like, you have to take all of that in context. And I don't know, that was just really funny for me seeing that.
But then that's where Kevin says something about like, I can't remember the exact quote, but it's like basically like, you know, we're not in, or I don't want to be in a band that sounds like pig slaughtering when, like basically like, or like we're not going to be in this band that's going to make us lose our virginity basically. And then Hunter's all like, like, don't tell Emily, because Emily was there. Like,
well, I think it wasn't it.
No, it was that
Kevin said, if we stay in a band with pig slaughters, we're gonna stay virgins forever.
Yeah, whatever. I couldn't remember the exact.
But yeah,
quote.
something like that. Yeah.
But and then like Hunter was all mad that he told Emily that they were virgins, which I know is like a huge thing in high school. Like,
and then she like ends up calling Kevin later and be like, do you not want to be? And there's like this real funny sort of thing. She's like, well, do you know this place? Meet me there in 30 minutes or something. And then Kevin comes out of his room like, Mom, I need the car. And he's like, your dad will be home at 5. You can borrow the car.
At 8,
then
8
whatever. And he's like, Mom, I need the car. And then it just made me fucking laugh. And like that's part of the coming of age story aspect of it, right? Like these kids in this high school are growing up, making friends, and just learning how to live life.
This needs to happen right now.
Yes. And it's around this time or a little before. We were watching this last night for the first time, and I realized in high school I used to dress like Hunter, but had the
music.
Like I would dress like Hunter with the band shirts and the jeans and the black shirts and coats and whatnot. But in the long hair as long as it could get with the curls and whatnot.
Yeah. You had a pretty good fluff going on.
But my sort of what's the word I'm looking for?
Like demeanor or personality.
My personality, my demeanor was that of Kevin's.
Yeah.
So I looked like Hunter, but I acted like Kevin, very shy and timid. And I was like, oh, it's kind of funny. Like I was an amalgamation of these two individuals in high school myself, which was kind of cool to look back on. But yeah, then the sex shit happens.
Well, she shows up in this parking lot that I think is at like a Jewish synagogue or something. Yeah. But anyways, in like, it must be her parents' business, but like a flower van, like a flower delivery van or whatever. So it's a pretty cool van.
Yeah, no, it was. Like, be a good van to like turn into a camping van and whatnot, go to festivals.
Exactly.
Again, we're kind of jumping all over the place, sort of keeping it in line in terms of how the movie went. We're not going to go super in depth into everything. what I wanted to talk about next, which I can't remember how we got here, the preppy boy who had the house party hears Kevin play somehow. I can't remember exactly how. But then he's like, hey, dude, you're fucking awesome.
I think it was just at school because, like, he had his drums in, like, a practice room.
Yeah, okay, so he's just walking by possibly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In any case, he walks in and is like, hey, you're fucking awesome. Our drummer is wasted. He's in rehab now. So we need a drummer, and my sister's got a wedding. Can you play? He's like, well, what songs do you have? And he gives him the song list. He's like, Kevin's listening to him, and he's sitting there in the hall, like tapping with his foot, like getting the beat down and everything. And he's like, takes them off. He's like, are they all this simple? Just this 4 notes repeated? And he's like, yeah, all of them. And he's like, okay, yeah, I can play, but I'm in a band with Hunter. Like, I don't know, I can't be in both bands. Like, dude, it's just for Saturday. It's for the wedding. We just need somebody to fill in.
Yeah, don't worry about the battle of the bands. That sort of
like
thing.
We're not here to do that. Like, can you just help us out? Yeah. It's like, well, let me think about it. He's like, you can think about it, but we need an answer quick because it's like literally in 2 days. And I can't remember if it's this point in time when this must have been before he had sex with Emily because it was.
No, he already had.
Because it was after. Oh, he had. You're right. Yeah. All right. Because after that, he shows up late for band practice after they had sex, and then they end up breaking up soon after that point.
Yeah, like they get mad at each other because, like, in Hunter's mind, the band is everything. Like, nothing else can top being in a metal band. Yep. And obviously, Kevin's more into, like, friendships and, you know, like, wanting to go to the house parties and, like, all that stuff. So, I mean, it's not, like, a huge part of the story, but just a little bit. Yeah. And so Hunter gets mad at Kevin because he was 2 hours late to band practice and, you know, like, thinks you don't care about the band. Yeah. Like, you know, it's the whole persona of Hunter is metal music and nothing else, and basically nothing else. Yeah, which I started to get the vibe this last time we watched it that Hunter really took the deep dive into metal once his parents got divorced, is how I read that. Yeah. And then, like, metal and music became his way of coping with sort of the troubles and struggles of life. Yeah. And he went super fucking hard into it and got really fucking into it, which is great. Like, yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of people dive super fucking deep into something when they're faced with something like that. So, and I do feel like if you're, gosh, I don't know how to say this because I know not everybody is this way, but, like, if you're into metal music, you're into metal music. There are some people who kind of are on the fence and they're like, oh, I like all music, and they'll go to, like, you know, a Metallica show or something like that, but it's like that's not their genre that they listen to. Where I feel like I'm even more, like, on the Hunter side. I mean, my life is not metal music. Well, it kind of is actually because of what we do, but, you know, like, it's the thing, you know, his thing that gets him through everything. From a musical taste standpoint, yeah, you're much on the Hunter side. I'm only listening to metal, only this. We watched Lumineers last night, and I enjoyed it. We did watch Lumineers. I did too. I am one of those people who say I like all types of music, and I genuinely mean it. I think you're right. A lot of people say I like all types of music, and really it's you find out not so much. Yeah. Metalheads are the ones that when they say they like all types of music, 90% of the time they truly do listen to a wide range. Yeah. Metal is the one that they listen to 80% of the time, but they'll dive deep into, like, random ass fucking folk music or something like that, or even pop music. Like, I don't like all pop music, but there's a few, like, Lady Gaga shit. I'll listen to Lady Gaga. Fuck, she's coming to Chicago, and I wanted to go to that show, but it sold out. So, again, like, yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Any case, I don't know where we were. Maybe the wedding now. He ends up joining the wedding and going to the wedding. Yeah. And I think they may have split up at this time in terms of the band got in a fight. They sort of broke up a little bit. And Kevin is playing the band, or playing at the wedding, and there's a part when they're playing just a normal poppy song, right? Like, I Want to Touch Your Body. I don't know what the name of the song. I've heard the song. And Kevin just throws in this double bass real quick in it. And, like, that's not in that song, but it actually made the song sound pretty fucking good with that in it. And the crowd dancing at the wedding goes fucking apeshit. Like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. Afterwards, the preppy kid's like, dude, you fucking killed. That was awesome. Like, do you want to join us for Battle of the Bands? Like, you don't have to dance right now.
think about it, but you'd be fucking great. We'd be fucking great. Like, let's fucking do this. You can be in 2 bands. It's cool. Other people are in 2 bands. And I think they said that earlier too, but whatever. So then he's tearing down his drum kit. They're all in the pool having fun, skinny dipping and whatnot. But before all this, there's one part I forgot, which was Hunter showing up.
Yeah.
Which he was putting on ghost paint or corpse paint.
Corpse paint, yeah.
And he's watching a YouTube video on how to do that.
It's such a funny part because, like, okay, so 2 years ago on Headbanger Boat, we wanted to do corpse paint for a Halloween thing, and then we kind of chickened out and didn't even dress up at all. We took everything with us, but we didn't dress up. But it reminded me of like when we were getting ready for the boat, and I was like watching some people do it, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this. But it's just like he had the spikes on his arm and like the black and white face paint.
He looked like Danny Filth is how I took it, with like all the spikes, like a lot of black metal bands for sure. Yeah. But definitely like a Danny Filth vibe. It
reminded me of Heavy Trip when he like comes out and he has like the face all painted.
The bassist, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
And then he walks up into the wedding. He's going to crash the wedding to get his drummer back. Like, hey, I'm going to make amends with my drummer. We're going to become friends again. We're going to do Battle of the Bands. But I need my drummer back. And this is going to be my way of showing him, like, we're best friends. Like, I'm here to support you type thing. Join the band again. And he walks up and there's a security guard there. And he's like, you will not stop me. Metal is everything. How do you stand, like, in front of all these lords and gods and whatnot type thing? And the security guard just takes his nightstick and tic-tacs him. And he just collapses down. Which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And then you see his dad picking him up at the police station.
Yep.
And shows him the pamphlet of the troubled youth center that he's getting sent to.
And while he's at the police station, he's like, can I have my shit back? And the cop's like, any weapons confiscated on a Meyer will become forfeitured over to the township or something like that. So they took all the spikes as weapons.
Yeah.
And they showed him the pamphlet, and they like the last straw that the dad, like Hunter and his dad have had a really rough relationship throughout this entire movie. And the last straw was the almost $14,000 they spent on a drum kit at Guitar Center.
Yeah.
And I guess before even all this, right before that, as he was going off to the wedding, Hunter got in trouble at school because and Emily got in a fight because I think this was the final straw that caused the band to break up because they were in speech or English together, Hunter and Emily, and Hunter gave his presentation. He's doing, I think the Iliad, doing a presentation on the Iliad, and he's playing his drum as he does it.
Guitar.
Yes, guitar. And he's focusing all his anger and energy talking about the story and like making parallels between what Emily and Hunter are doing.
Emily and Kevin.
God damn it, I gotta get these. Fuck. Between what Emily and Kevin are doing and then how she is breaking up Hunter and Kevin.
Yeah.
And then those two, Hunter and Emily, get in a fight in the school. Kevin gets in trouble. He's like, you were harassing her. Like the principal or the dean was like, you were harassing her, doing all this. No, we can't have that. You're fucking done. Like, write up an essay of what you did. If she agrees with everything you write down, cool. You'll just have a short suspension. Otherwise, there'll be other consequences for you in your actions. And that's when the dad's like, we need to talk about this what I did in school essay you just wrote. And then he goes, gets arrested, and then dad's like,
yeah.
Boom. Which, as you said, sends him to like this rehab center type thing.
Yeah. Which is also where the drummer of the other band is at.
Yes.
Yeah. But before getting there, with the whole pool at the
let's get back to the pool
wedding,
real quick. Yeah.
So at the first house party, there is this blonde girl there that Kevin starts to talk to. Well, he's staring at her. And then she's like, why the fuck are you staring at me? And basically, I take it as she's almost the same as Kevin, like where she's kind of quiet and like, insecure and stuff. Like, why are you staring at me? Not like, who the fuck are you? Why are you staring at me? More like, nobody stares at me.
Because he does say, like, because you're beautiful.
Yeah.
And he's like, why wouldn't I stare at you? And she's like, nobody stares at me. And they all stare at her, like her best friend.
Yeah.
Who is, I think, dating the lead singer of the preppy boy.
Yeah.
And she's at the wedding too somehow. Like we even watched it last night. You're like, how the fuck is she here?
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck is the girl from the house party there? And the only way they never explain it, but the only way we could think of it is the girlfriend of the preppy guy is
like best friends with her or something.
Best friends, and so she got invited to the wedding. I don't know. But anyways, they end up going to the hot tub or she's in the hot tub, and
Yep.
then he gets in. Kevin gets in with her. They start kissing, and then we get a, what do they call that? Where it's like ghost figures.
Yeah, it's like the angels you see in the cartoons.
Yeah.
Like you have the good angel and the bad angel.
Yeah.
But it starts with Tom Morello, was it? No, it wasn't.
No,
it was
Ian,
Scott Ian. Scott Ian from Anthrax. Who's up there like, dude, do you need an invitation? Like, fucking go for it. Do it.
Like you're in this hot tub with a naked girl, so
Like, let's go.
yeah.
Like, do you need a tortilla or whatever? Tortilla, whatever that word.
We both can't say it.
Yeah, we can't say it right now. Tortuga.
Tortuga.
But then Tom Morello shows up. He's like, no, he's already he's got a girlfriend, Emily. Like, don't do this to her. And then I think it's Kurt Hammond shows up.
Kirk
He's
Hammond,
like, fuck that. She's got needs, he's got needs. Talking about the girl in the hot tub. Like, she wants it. Like, you go on. You want it. She wants it. It's all good. It's fine. Like, just, it's nothing. It's sex. It's all good. Whatever. It's not a relationship. And then Rob Halford shows up and he's like, what are you talking about, man? And then it all turns back to him as she's like kissing his neck and everything. He's just like staring up at these ghost figures. And in his head, like, all of these people I wouldn't have known without Hunter last year, but I know them all now. And they're all making very good points. And then while the image is on him, I don't know if you picked up on this. It makes me laugh every time I hear it. I swear to God, it's Kurt. I think it's Kurt who says, he's just a drummer.
Oh, no. Now I want to watch it again because I don't think I have.
I'm pretty sure it's Kurt that says he's just a drummer. And in my head, the first time I saw that, I was like, fuck, this would have been perfect if now all of a sudden here comes Lars.
Yeah.
And he and Kurt and Lars start getting in a fight of like, just a drummer motherfucker, let's go. Like, but that doesn't happen. It turns back. Rob Halford eventually convinces Kevin, like, dude,
like, you have a girl already. You love her. So.
She loves you. You love her. Like, don't do this.
Yeah.
And then in his head again, it's like, thank you, Rob Halford of Judas Priest. And then he turns to.
So I wonder if that's put in there because, like, if you are just watching it, like, say you're a young kid or a young person and you're watching this because it's like a high school movie or whatever. If you don't know who Rob Halford is, then it's like for him to say of Judas Priest, it's like, oh, now I can put a band to that. Yeah. I mean, they don't do that with, Scott and Kurt and Tom Morello, like that sort of thing. But
yeah, for sure.
And Tom Morello is wearing a shirt that says, I play the guitar.
Yeah. I did notice that last night we were watching it. I didn't see that. And probably a Cubs hat too. Like the guy's, I think he's from the Chicago area originally. Okay. Maybe. Okay. Definitely LA. He was out in LA for a long time, but I think he's originally from Chicago.
Okay. That's so funny. I don't know. His shirt last night was the first time I caught it too, and it made me laugh because I'm just like, what the fuck?
Again, the structure for this episode is the last couple we've done have been hours and hours long.
Oh yeah,
we're trying to keep this one pretty concise.
42 minutes on the thing. I'm sure we're only at like 35 minutes probably. But
yeah, once we get done editing and whatnot.
Yeah,
but what I'm trying to say is like we've seen this movie several times, and that's part of what we're trying to do with this is not just watch it live, but watch it over and over and over. We even this time took notes that we've each been referencing both have our and whatnot. Notebooks. So maybe it's a little better this time with the structure and whatnot, but we'll see when we get done editing. We're so like,
oh, but this happened. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened.
We're staying somewhat on track. A few jump backs, whatnot.
Yeah. But now we are at the point where Kevin starts calling Hunter and doesn't get an answer on his cell phone. So then he calls the house phone. And Hunter's dad picks up.
Well, as he's picking up, he's like, who the fuck calls a landline? Which is like, that's true. Like, we don't even have a landline anymore.
We haven't ever, since we've been together. We've never had a landline.
I remember my dad still had one back home for the longest time. I don't know if they still have one or not. I used to have that number memorized too.
Yeah.
And I was like, why the fuck do we have this? He's like, I don't know, in case you need it. Like, we'll always have a landline. You can always call that landline. Oh. But yeah, after his dad picks up, that's when we learn that Hunter was put into a rehab center.
Yeah, because I guess we don't see the pamphlet that is given to Hunter at the police station.
You get like a quick glimpse of it, but you don't know really what it is unless you like look at it. I can't remember. Like there was the one part where Hunter's like, no, the Battle of the Bands is Friday.
Yeah.
And his dad's like, not for you. It's not.
Right.
So.
Which that does, I mean, that whole part, even though it is, I mean, Hunter's whole personality, like we said, is the metal music, but that is something that I feel like a lot of high schoolers go through with the whole, your parents not necessarily sending you to like a rehab center or like a troubled youth center or whatever, but they'll take something away from you that you really want when you aren't behaving the way that they want you to behave. And I'm not condoning trying to crash a wedding that you are not invited to by saying behaving the way your parents do not want you to behave. But as we find out in the Troubled Youth Center, a lot of them are there because they're doing something that the parents don't agree with.
Oh, really? You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that vibe.
Like even when Hunter sits down with the
I guess like
guy.
Hunter sits down for his like intake interview with the doctor, who turns out to be, I can't remember the dude's name, but he was in Kiloton, which was the metal band back at the school in the 80s that had the last Battle of the Bands that I think they won or something, they said. And he sits down and Hunter notices him like right away. He's like, holy shit, you're so-and-so from Kiloton. He's like, yeah. He's like, dude, what the fuck happened to you guys? You guys were fucking legends. And he's like, man, the band broke up. Like, we couldn't make it last. They were all dicks and got families and shit. And I think, like, he said he was a drunk at one point. Like, somebody within the band was drinking a lot and whatnot, and that caused the band to break up. And that seemed to be, like, a running theme through the movie earlier with Hunter and Kevin, where Hunter was always like, I think alcohol's involved with this. Don't drink the alcohol. Like, at the house party, he's like, why the fuck are you drinking so much? And when Kevin's talking to the girl for the first time, he's like, holy shit, I'm talking to this girl and I'm not even afraid. Alcohol is fucking amazing. So different points of view and whatnot, but he's sitting there with the intake interview, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but the band broke up, and this guy got his life clean, got sober, and is now a doctor or something like that, right? At this center here, a psychologist or whatnot. And the doctor's going through and he's saying, do you do meth? Do you do coke? Do you do heroin? Like going through all the drugs, speed, alcohol. And he's like, no. He's like, then what the fuck are you in here for? He's like, just fucking metal, man. And the doctor's like, man, I see this shit all the time. Yeah,
and that's what I'm meaning is like something that your parents don't agree with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because then he takes them out and he goes to that drummer of that original band. He's like, you see that kid? That kid's got fucking problems. I don't have time to waste with you when I'm trying to work with him and make him better. So I'm going to...
But smoking weed's not a problem.
No, it's not. I think it's other things as well. Yeah. But it's like sort of at that point where the doctor's like, I'm going to recommend you for release. So I got the vibe that, yes, you're right. The doctor does see this all the time. But he's always like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just a kid going through teenage shit. Yeah. I'm going to get you out. And like it seemed like that's what the doctor does all the time. It's like, if you don't need to be here, you don't need to be here. So the other kids that are in that hospital, I do feel like needed to be in that hospital potentially.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they had different doctors.
I feel like I've watched a lot of stuff recently about, not recently, in the last year, about troubled youth camps and troubled youth centers and stuff like that. And it's like the parents catch you doing something that they do not approve of. And now it's like, you're being sent to this.
Sure, and I'm not saying that doesn't happen in real life. I'm saying in this movie.
Oh, okay.
In this movie, not so much. I was
putting it towards like real life.
No,
like, you're doing something that your parents don't agree with, so then they're like, "Oh, you're troubled, and you need to go."
Right.
I mean, you were a drug addict when you were in high school, right?
No, I was not. I didn't do any drugs till I was in college.
No, I'm just joking because your parents thought you were.
My mom definitely did, yeah.
And all you wanted to do was play video games and listen to music.
Yeah, like, why are you in your room listening to music and playing video games? Like, I don't know, I'm a teenager. That's what I want to fucking do. Like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, then it's the drummer, he shows him, and the kid's like, hey, what's up? And somehow Hunter breaks in. He goes in.
Kevin breaks in.
Kevin breaks into free Kevin. Kevin breaks into free Hunter.
I'm leaving all this shit in.
I'm really struggling with these names. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names. And he takes the pamphlets, throws them in the garbage, goes up to the front desk because there's like a little buzzer you have to hit to get in because he watched the nurse do that for another doctor. And he's like, hey, my friend he's a sniffer. His parents don't know what to do. I want to get a pamphlet to show them. It's like, oh, you're such a good friend. They're right behind you.
First she's like, oh, is it glue, gas, like kerosene? Like, what is it? And he's like, yeah, it's all of them. He just mixes them together. Like, that just makes me laugh. It's like right there you would know that, like.
Which one is it? Yes. Yes, it is. Just mix them together. And she's like, oh, you're a great friend. Their pamphlets are up. They're gone. You know what? Let me get more pamphlets. As she goes to the back room to get more pamphlets, he sneaks himself in. And we see Hunter sitting there watching TV like a bake-off show or whatnot with all the other kids. He's hanging in the back, and right when they're about to make the announcement of who won, the TV turns off. And you're like, what the fuck? The kids are like, who's got the remote? And fuck it, they have to get up and turn it back on, and they walk back to their seat, sit down, and you just see Hunter sitting there, and he gives this little smirk, and he pulls the remote out from under him and clicks it off again. And they're like, oh fuck. And then that's when Kevin comes in. Kevin, what are you doing here? Dude, I want you back. I'm sorry. I'm a horrible person. And he's like, you don't have time for that. Whatever. It's all good. Let's get the fuck out of here. And as they're trying to leave, they run into the other drummer. He's like, you know what? You come with us. Because it's the night of the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
He can't be in both bands. He's going to take this drummer back to play with the other band. And he's like, all right. He's like, but we have to bring you back when we're done with Battle of the Bands, right? And he's like, yeah, I can't cope out there. I need to learn how to cope with things in here. And so he clearly started to realize, like, hey, I've got other issues going on. This is helping me. I need to be in here to do this and whatnot. So they pull the fire alarm. They leave. The nurse sees them. They start going through this huge chase. They end up getting into the alley where, like, the cars or something, like the parking lot or whatnot. And they run into the doctor again. And earlier in the interview, Hunter had given him the pick he had made.
Yeah, for Skullfucker.
Yeah, and the doctor shows him the pick. He's like, this thing is flimsy as fuck. You're not going to get a good tone at whatever or whatnot.
Yeah, whatever he says, yeah.
And then he flips it into Kevin's face. And as he's looking straight at Hunter and just like flips it into Kevin's face and hits him. And he hands him a pick to use, like, here, use this pick. And the first time we saw this movie was back in October of 2021.
No, it didn't come out until 2022. So
October
it was October
2022.
Yeah.
And I think of that line every time since then because I always remember that about the pick being flimsy. We don't always get picks at shows, but every now and then they'll throw them out into the crowd and we'll get a pick.
Yeah.
When I pick up a pick and it's really flimsy, I think of that line, and I instantly start I instantly start to judge the musician who threw it out there. Nita Strauss is one of them who threw out a pick, and it was very flimsy.
Oh, is it really flimsy?
I'm like, this isn't good. You should have watched Metal Lord. You would have learned you can get a thicker, better pick.
I'm pretty sure Nita Strauss knows what she's doing with her picks.
I know that. Like, she's fucking shredding and killing it on the guitar. And here I am, somebody who can't play any musical instrument, being like, I saw a movie once that says your picks suck, so therefore you kind of suck. But no, that's not what I'm thinking. But I do honestly pick up the pick, and I instantly start to flimsy it. And if it's too flimsy, I'm like, this should be better. Like, this isn't good. You could be so much better if you just had a little thicker pick. But I do think of that all the time. But the other thing that was funny is the doctor turns and like, is this your car? Talking to Kevin. He's like, yeah. He's like, it's a real piece of shit. He just walks off. The doctor's kind of cool. Because the thing is, the doctor was going to give him, like, recommend him for release. The board reviews releases over the weekend, which would be too late for Battle of the Bands, so he couldn't go.
Right.
They make a quick stop at Emily's house for Hunter to apologize for being such a dick, such an asshole and whatnot. And she comes out, they're standing in front of her house, and Hunter's like, you're brash, you're angry, you're loud, obnoxious. He goes through a bunch of things that describing who Emily is, and he's like, that is metal as fuck. Will you please join our band? Type thing, like as a way to say like, hey, you're fucking awesome. Like, don't change who you are. You're a great fucking person. Because the other thing we learn earlier on as well is that she takes some medication to adjust some of the imbalances and whatnot in her head.
Like she has chemical imbalance of some sort, like. They never say if it's like bipolar or what, but like, I mean, that's where the whole blow up at the band teacher at the beginning, the first scene of the second scene of the movie is.
And that fight with Hunter and her in the classroom, she later says like, I hadn't been taking my pills. Yeah. Because there was another scene where like her and Kevin are together and she's like, I don't take my pills anymore. I'm with you. You're my happy pill. Yeah. Which was like a sweet fucking moment. But no, also you should have been taking your pills. And like she was blaming herself for the blow up. It's like, no, it's not your fault. It's Hunter's fault. Yeah. And anyway, they do the apology. He throws out his hand to like shake her. They have this like little handshake where
it's like, I think metal. No, you were right. No, it's like this, and you like go like this.
Is that what it is?
Shake. Yeah.
Oh, because I thought Hunter always did this, and Kevin would always just like shake his hand like that.
Well, I think he did, but like at the end, they actually do it where like Emily and him do this.
Oh, I took it as she did this, and he just grabbed her hand.
No, and then Kevin puts his hand on top.
I'll have to pay
this.
more close attention.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a funny moment between them. But she's like, he puts the hand out like, well, I'm sorry, shake hand type thing. And she's like, I can't do this right now. Runs back into the house.
Well, she has like, you could tell like she's playing like the character is having so much anxiety about it. Like she wants to do it, but she can't. Like she's like, no, like.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I took it more as like, I'm so angry with you right now. I hate you. Like, there's no fucking way I'm ever going to apologize for what you've done to me.
I think I took it as, like, she wants to do it, but she's like, I shouldn't do it. Like, that's
so she's wrestling internally with, like, I want to, but don't want to type thing. Okay, maybe. Probably. You might be right there. Yeah. Doesn't matter. It's a movie. You can interpret what you want from it.
Exactly.
Just like music.
Exactly.
But, yeah, then they show back up to backstage for Battle of the Bands. That preppy band is there again. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're going to be in my band. Awesome. Or like, you made it. Cool. And Kevin's like, sorry, I can't play in your band. I'm in a band. I can only be in one band. I know you said I can be in multiple, but I can only be in the one. He's like, oh, shit. But we brought your drummer back. And he's like, is he clean? Is he sober? He's like, yeah. Like the drummer then says like, yeah, I'm good. I can play. And sure enough, they go out there. They play that Imagine Dragons song. Yeah, the crowd is really into it.
Yeah.
They're backstage, Hunter and Kevin practicing, trying to think of what they're gonna do, and
that's when the whole like, you guys are just a duo, yes. And it's like the White Stripes, and
that's where Hunter's like, yes, we are, because he's like, you got a really great guy here. And the last thing I'll say about like the preppy kid, or maybe there'll be other scenes coming up with him, but the one thing I noticed with this kid is in high school I hated the preppy kids, I hated the jocks. This preppy kid in this movie, like, he seems really fucking cool. Like, he's not a douche about anything. He's very like, man, everybody's welcome. Everybody's cool. Like,
yeah, that's true. Like,
everybody's great. Like, just be a good person. And like, he seemed like a genuinely nice guy. He didn't seem fake by any means. It was like, dude, just you do you. Like, if you want to join, awesome. If not, like, it'll help us. But whatever, life will go on. Everything will be fine. He seemed like, I don't know, he just seemed better than the preppy kids I grew up with.
No, I think I agree with you on that. And like the jock guy was more the like asshole.
Yeah, the jock was an asshole like jocks have always been. Yeah. Like just the broy douchebag fucknut was who the jock was. Like, he got in a car chase with Hunter and Kevin.
Yeah.
They cut Kevin's hair off. They got him to go into the hallway, cut his hair off, beat the shit out of him in the hall, trashed his car. I mean, the jock did get his truck smashed because he was an idiot and ran into a fucking alley that was too small. Yeah. And that was funny because that's when they were driving. And they're like, I saved this quote. There's a lot of quotes in this movie that I thought were fucking hilarious. Let me find it real quick. Oh. So that earlier scene where Hunter walks up to the jock after the fight at the house party and he like flips him off and then flicks him in the face. And then they go running. And at this point, Kevin is driving Hunter's car. I might got those names mixed up of who did it. It was Hunter who flipped him off and whatnot. And the jock gets in his car. They're chasing through town, driving really fast. And Kevin is driving Hunter's car because he made him get over and whatnot. And he's like freaking out, like low in the seat. And Hunter tells Kevin, you slow down, you die. That is metal. Like, that was the line I took from that. And it was like after that. Oh, no, that's what it was. Hunter said to Kevin, you slow down, you die. That is metal. To which Kevin replied to Hunter, that's a dumb Keanu Reeves movie. Like, talking about speed.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that.
That was fucking hilarious.
Okay.
I don't know. That was one of the quotes. There's a lot of quotes in this movie that I really liked.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was at with this.
You were just saying that Preppy Kid wasn't as douchey.
But the jock definitely was.
Yeah, and like the Preppy Kids band does their performance of Imagine Dragons, and then they're getting ready to go out. And the Preppy Kids playing when
they're
Emily
playing their
comes
backs
in.
there. Yeah, because then like Kevin's like, Hunter's like, it's fine, we'll be fine just as the two of us, and Kevin's like, yeah, but what about the low end? We're not going to sound great on the low end. What do we do? And they're trying to figure out like how they solve that problem. At which point Emily comes in, and when she was saying like when they were apologizing, she's like, I'm not ready to like apologize and whatnot.
Yeah.
She walks in, she's got like torn up fishnets, got these boots on, this like black corseted dress thing, black hair like all pulled down, maybe black lipstick. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think she had black lipstick. Yeah.
These like little hand glove thingies on with a new electric cello.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's like, now I'm ready.
My first thought is, does she already have that electric cello,
I
or
thought
how
that-
do you get it?
I thought that last night.
It is a movie, but like, how do you just get this cello?
I'm gonna run out real quick to Guitar Center because I
Right.
believe they were part of the
It was definitely an
sponsors.
advertising, because even when Kevin and Hunter are like in their little fight thing, Kevin and Emily go to Guitar Center, and she's looking through like a Metallica book.
And then she finds like a classical one. She's like, I've been looking for this forever.
Yeah, but I think the thing that really gets like Kevin to like kind of miss his friendship with Hunter is there's two younger kids that are fighting over something. I don't know.
I think a pedal.
Is it a pedal? Okay, I
think
wasn't
so.
quite sure. But one kid has like Lamb of God shirt on. The other kid has Metallica shirt on.
I can't remember. Yeah.
I can't remember the other one. But they're like fighting, like literally like fighting over it in their hands. And the one kid's like, you wouldn't even know who Lamb of God is if it wasn't for me. It just makes me laugh.
And that's the kid who bought the pedal. Finally
Yeah.
could buy it. They must have only had one pedal or something.
Must have, yeah.
It's the same store they were at when they bought the drum kit.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. No, Guitar Center definitely was like part of the or whatever that is.
I kind of like trying to find the sponsors.
Yeah,
Like the what do they call those? Paid advertisement. There's a certain word for that.
Yeah.
When it's like in the movie. I
in
can't
the
remember the
movie.
name of it.
Like in the 90s, they were so easy to spot,
Yeah.
and now I think it's a little bit harder.
I think Amex definitely was because they shined the
Yeah.
Amex like
Yeah.
right there in the screen and it stayed there for like 2 or 3
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, so it's definitely like you need to have this much screen time for it or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
Any hoodles. Emily joins the band. They're about
Yep.
to go on stage. The dean comes around. She's like, not like that.
Not with that name. Or
Skull
whatever.
fucker.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it has to be because they're painted on the head. It's
Yeah.
like, we can't change this. And Emily gets angry, like her angry look that
Yeah.
we've seen throughout the movie, and bolts past the dean. And I think she hits her almost.
Okay, I watched that this time because I'm like, there's no way she hits her, and she doesn't. But the dean's like, ugh. It's like one of those fake movie
Yeah,
things where I'm like, they should have done that a little bit better. But
She goes running down the halls and runs into the janitor. And she's like, hello, Eli. And he's so nice. He's like, hello, Emily. How are you? Like, just like they clearly have this relationship, like not
Yeah.
like relationship, but like this. Let me not say it that way.
yeah, don't say relationship.
They clearly have this sort of friendship
Yeah.
throughout. Like they've established throughout
Yeah.
her going to school and whatnot.
Which I think is kind of reminiscent of like how the nerdy kids
Oh.
are like, are at school longer or whatever, so they get to know like the night janitor or whatever the case is.
And she was
like,
always in the practice room
Yeah.
practicing cello.
Yeah.
So maybe like, running into it, like,
Yeah.
oh, clean your
Yeah.
room when you're done. It's all good. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But she's like, do you have the keys to the art room? He's like, yeah, I can give you the keys for that. Which is also like really kind of cool,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So like, sure, go ahead, take all the supplies you want from the art room. But then they go, you see the dean come back out on stage. This is the next scene. And she's like, please welcome Skull Flower. And they had changed their name to Skull Flower. The skull had flowers now coming out of one of the eyes.
Yeah, instead of a stake like poking the eye out. Yeah.
Oh, I can't never remember what it was, but yeah, okay.
It was like a stake or a sword or something was poking the eye
I was wondering if it was
out.
like a dildo or something.
No.
But yeah, they changed their name to Skull Flower. They start playing their song,
Machinery of Torment.
Machinery of Torment. The crowd's not into it. Like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
And they start getting into it. The jock is now back from suspension from cutting and beating up Hunter earlier in the movie.
And they just drank a bottle of Jack.
He's like, come with me to his other jock buddies.
Yeah.
Come with me out to the truck. I've got a bottle of Jack, as you said. And that's during the Preppy Kids song.
Yeah, yeah.
And as they come in, you can see he's a little buzzed. I think that's what
Yeah.
they're trying to play it
Yeah,
off
I think
as.
so.
And he sees Hunter up on stage. He's like, I'm going to fucking kill this kid. And as he's walking up there, he runs into one of his other jock friends, like nudges his shoulder by accident. And the guy's like, yeah, metal, and like pushes him into the crowd, who then hits somebody. And the jock's like, fuck that, and hits him back. And it starts a little mosh pit going on there.
Yeah.
You see the preppy boy's girlfriend, who hated this music, is like, this is garbage. Like she's the quintessential like Valley Girl type girl, right? And you see like the crowd starting to get into it. The chorus of Machinery of Torment.
Yeah, and like
Machinery of Torment.
Like crowd singing and everything.
They're singing it back, which is fucking great. Never happens your first time you play a song live. Maybe it does. I don't know. I've never experienced it, but that was fucking awesome. The crowd gets into it. Like they're going on, like just fucking blasting away. Kevin throwing his drumsticks out into the crowd. Emily throwing her bows out into the crowd.
Oh yeah.
And then grabbing one of her extra bows. Like I've never seen anybody from Apocalyptica throw their bow out. Do that. Yeah. So I thought that was fucking hilarious.
The dean gets in the mosh pit, or gets caught up in the mosh pit.
She gets caught up in the mosh pit. The solo happens, and Hunter just starts playing the solo and going insane. And he has this sort of out of body moment where he's starting to like fly up.
Yeah.
And eventually the jock kid hits the right person, who then hits the right person or something, who hits the stage, which causes the amp stack to fall over and fall on Hunter's leg and break his leg. And that ends the set. Next scene we see, they're in the basement playing. They're talking about how awesome it was. The father in Hunter's basement. Hunter's dad comes down. He's like, fucking bronze medal, congratulations, and throws it down. And then Kevin's like, silver, we got seconds. He's like, whatever. And then Hunter turns to his dad and he's like, well, at least I didn't get arrested this time. So, progress? And his dad's like, a head nod, like, all right. And then walks up the stairs talking about this date he's going to go to.
Yeah, like some pediatrician that has real boobs.
Which is, I think, what happened for the divorce. There was a part in the movie when he's going to the wedding where he's like, go fuck another nurse. Yeah. So I'm assuming that's what led to the divorce.
Probably.
So he's definitely got some animosity towards his parents as well. But it felt like, all right, they're starting to mend their relationship a little bit.
No, I don't.
No, I got that vibe. I got that vibe of like, you know.
I think it's more you go do what you want to do, and I'm gonna do what I want to do.
But Hunter didn't seem as brash about it. Like the whole joke of like progress for not getting arrested, and the dad being like, all right,
okay, I can see that from that. I take the last scene as more like the dad's like, this is what you're gonna do. I'm gonna accept it. Like, but you know.
But also Hunter's like giving him some slack as well, I think. Like, okay. I was kind of a dick back then. I'm sorry, Dad. Like,
okay. No, it's fine.
No, but that's how I took it.
Yeah.
And then they go in talking about how awesome they were and how people aren't going to remember the band that won because they're on the front page. They're going to remember Skullflower. And now it's on the, like, it's in print. They're going to be Skullflower forever. And they're sitting there talking about how awesome they were. And Hunter's like, dude, you on the cello, you fucking killed it. And then she's like, what about my boyfriend? Slapped him in the face with his double bass dick. And then he's just like, yes, I did. And then they go into, I think, War Pigs. They start playing War Pigs.
Yeah.
A little ending credit roll there with more War Pigs. And then back into Machinery of Torment for the final track.
Yeah, for the credits rolling, yeah.
Again, I really love this movie. I thought this movie was fucking awesome.
I think it's good too. I mean, how many times have we seen it now? Like 5 or 6?
Quite a bit. Especially like we watched it the first time just for fun. We watched it again for fun. We've watched it a few times for preparation for this particular episode. But yeah, we've watched it a lot, and it's something I think we'll gravitate to watching again.
Yeah.
Like I said, it is a coming of age story. So that's kind of, you know, those stories are pretty well established in terms of the structure of the story.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you know that the one guy's going to get with the girl and then the friend's going to be mad and
they're going to break up the band, like they're going to have a fight and the friendship's going to break, but then something's going to draw the friendship back together. Like it's a story outline that's been done over and over and over, and we all seen 100 times, but I still enjoy it. I do
have to say the first time that we watched it together, because every time we watch it together, but the first time we watched it, I could really see, even though I wasn't into metal in high school, I still like to wear black and I like to wear like trip pants and stuff like that. Like I didn't gravitate to whatever the style was or whatever the case is. Like I just had my own look, and like you were saying, like you dressed in metal shirts and stuff too, and it is kind of like it does show like in high school like how it kind of stands out and like you are the different person and stuff like that. So I mean I could definitely see that in the movie and like how, you know, just the differences that shows.
Also I think Hunter's character portrayed like the average metalhead pretty well. That's not metal, this is metal.
Right.
That is shit because it's not metal. Yeah. Like, especially early on, like, I was that way in high school, too, where it's like, that sucks because it's not metal. That sucks, this isn't metal, this is metal, blah, blah, blah. Like, that same sort of mentality and mindset.
Yeah. And he always calls the other band, like, the fads, which I think is could be true.
Yeah.
Like the pop song that's happening, it's going to be the popular song until the next one, and then
Pink Pony Club, I think, is the one right now that's pretty popular.
You've brought that up so many times. I have no clue what you're talking about.
It's a newer song, and it's come up a lot, and I've noticed it a lot. And I don't know, like, again, that's like the big song right now, and it's not going to be the big song until the next big sort of poppy song comes out.
Yeah.
I guess you could say the same thing about metal. Like, there's always the big metal song right now. But the thing, maybe not.
No,
like, especially not on radio.
No. I mean, maybe on radio there are the songs that they're playing right now versus what we listened to back when we like listened to radio in Iowa in like 2009ish. But it's like, I don't know. Like it's true. Like what the lines that Hunter says. Like I'm putting personas like he's a real person, but like with the whole fads, like they come and go. But metal is forever.
That's true. Yeah.
Like we're still listening to metal that was made in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. But yeah, I definitely got the vibe like, all right, this is the metal, like this is how a lot of metal people are sometimes in terms of like,
oh yeah. And
if it's not metal, it's shit type thing.
And it also portrays the metal performers who are like, the band is everything. Like, granted, I do believe that if you are going to start a band, you do need to be in it to be in it, otherwise like you're just going to be playing, nothing's going to happen.
There needs to be commitment there. There needs to
be commitment. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But also it's like there's other things to life than the band.
And I got that at the end when they're all just sitting around shooting the shit. Like we're still here, we're still practicing, we're still in this for the music, but now we're a more cohesive friend group.
Yeah.
Because I do think if you're going to be in a band and need to be successful, and I've heard other people say this as well, like, and even the doctor said this in the pre-interview thing of like, you have to be friends with the people in your band because you are touring with these motherfuckers.
Right.
They're your friends. They're going to piss you off, but you need to get past that at some point and be like
you
it's a family.
Spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, it's like a family. Like you and I. Like there's times when my breathing apparently pisses you off.
Yeah, or you chew, or you like swallow, or whatever. Like some noise happens, and it's really fucking annoying.
So, but you get past that, right? So, I mean, it's the same thing with the band, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, I enjoyed this movie a lot. It was a great fucking movie.
We'll continue to watch it. For sure.
So, all in all, hopefully this was good. It's much shorter than the last ones have been. So there's a bunch of really great music and metal movies out there that we want to watch and do episodes like this. So hopefully this one turned out well, and we'll move on to the next movie. I don't know what the next one will be.
Not sure yet.
But there'll be a lot more. These are easier to do than our book club episode that we did, which we also want to do more of those.
They're a lot quicker.
But I don't know. It was a good movie night. So go out, check out movies. Movies are awesome. I love going to movies. I love mixing that. Movies and music are my two of my biggest hobbies and two of my biggest passions. So getting to meld those two together in this one episode has been fucking great. So go check out movies. Go into theaters and check out movies. Watch them at home. Do whatever. Also, go check out music. Like, just get out there and experience different art, different media, whatever it is. It's fucking awesome. Go explore, find new things. And maybe we'll see you at the next show.
Bye.